5 children vanished on Christmas Eve. No bodies, no answers. Just a fire full of questions. Christmas Eve, 1945. A fire, a desperate escape. And 5 children vanish without a trace. No bodies, no remains, just a mystery that refuses to be forgotten. What really happened to the Sodder kids? A call for help shattered the silence. The Sodder home was engulfed in flames. The parents and 4 of their children escaped, but 5 others were still inside. Or were they? Firefighters arrived hours later, long after the house had burned to the ground. As authorities combed through the ashes, they expected the worst. But there were no bones, no signs of human remains. It was as if the 5 missing children had never been there at all. Fire should have left behind evidence, but forensic experts later determined that even at temperatures twice as hot as the Sodder fire, bones do not completely incinerate. If the children perished in the fire, where were their remains? And then came the first chilling clue. A witness claimed to have seen the Sodder children alive. Another witness reported seeing them in a passing car just hours before the fire. 5 children peering out from a black sit-in. Their faces filled with fear. The more the Sodders searched for answers, the darker the theories became. Some believed the children were kidnapped by an underground child trafficking ring. Others suspected the fire was a cover-up, set intentionally to hide an abduction. And then there was the most sinister theory of all, a revenge plot, linked to George Sodder's outspoken political views. Years later, forensic testing uncovered something alarming. There were no signs of child remains in the ash, but the bones found in the rubble. They belonged to an adult. Had someone planted the bones? Was this a staged crime? If so, why? For decades, the Sodder family refused to give up. They placed billboards along the highway, offering rewards for information. They hired private investigators, but every lead led to a dead end. Then, decades later, an eerie letter arrived. Inside was a photograph. A grown man who bore an uncanny resemblance to one of the missing Sodder boys. Written on the back was a chilling note. Louis Sodder, I love brother Frankie. A little boys. A 90,132 or 35. Was this proof that the children had survived? Or was it a cruel hoax? The truth remains buried in time. The Sodder children vanished on Christmas Eve, leaving behind a mystery that has haunted history. Could they still be out there? Or did someone take the truth to the grave? If this case left you with questions, subscribe to Twisted Truths for more mind-bending true crime mysteries. Like, comment, and share, because the Sodder children deserve to be remembered.